So in our last video, we stopped at where we styled the form element. So let's quickly just do some connection here. So inside our index.html, I think this made a mistake here. So that is okay. Let's omit it. So now the type here, I think this mistake we forgot to put this submit here. So now let's go back to the browser, refresh. You see we have something that is fantastic. So now let's quickly start working on this particular section here. The second div. So let me just copy the write up here. So I'm going to show you how to write this and this DTC that you're seeing there. Okay. So here we set the div here. So now the something like C that you're seeing. So if you want to create it, you just use the ampersand and copy, then line is okay. Fantastic. So now let's just paste what we copied. Okay. Let's go back to the browser and refresh to see what we have. You see we have something that is fantastic. Then lastly for this second one, so for the third div here, so the same thing here and copy. Now I'm going to paste it here. Okay, so now we see we have something like this. So now let's start working on this styling. So when you look at, you see we have some default class for the border top. So now let's go back to our stylus CSS and quickly create the default class, the custom class. Let's say button. Let's say button top. Let's just call it just a name, just a name, just a name. Don't worry about the name. So we're going to use border 1 pixel solid. Then we're going to use the text 93f. Okay. So now let's save it. So now let's try to add the class, the custom class to the divs here. So now let's start for the first one. Okay. So now let's paste it here. Okay. So just in a button top. Just leave it. Just a name. Okay. The value, just the value. So now let's save it. See, we have something like this. Okay, made a mistake inside the button. I just want the border top, not the whole corner, border top. So let me change the class to border top so that it will be okay. No sound somehow. So border top. Let's replace it here. Border top. Border top. Okay. You see we have something like this. So now let's just add the, we know we already have the default margin classes and the padding classes that we created. So let's just add the, let's give it margin 2 and padding of 2. Same thing here. Okay. And let's change the heading to heading 1. So now let's save it. Let's go back to the browser and refresh. You see we have something that is fantastic. So lastly for the last div 2. So now let's add the margin 2 and padding 2 and the text to be heading 1 and 1 the right up to be at the center. Okay. So we have something that is fantastic. You see our work is more, at least we have tried. Yeah? We have tried. The only thing now, let's try to just make this place too much exactly as this is the main work here. So inside the column 5, when you look at, due to the text align with the center, that's why you see they are all at the center. So now let's try to remove that particular CSS property. So under the column 5, so now let's comment this particular line. So you see now they are at the top. Then the guiding, the company, the resources, and the get in touch. So now let's just go back and remove the default text align that we gave it. So now let's remove it. We don't want the class. Same thing with the resources. We don't want the class. And lastly, for the get in touch, so now let's remove it. We don't want the class to be applied to it. Okay, so let's refresh. You see we have something like this. Lastly, let's work on the UL. So let's give it the you see the footer UL. So now let's give it a padding. Let's say padding top to be 2 pixels. So we don't want any horizontal padding. We don't want it. So let's just set it to 0 pixels. Okay, fantastic. Are you happy? I'm very excited. Okay, in just 55 videos, we're able to design exactly like the main work here. So congratulations if you're able to make it this far, and do take your time. And in the next series, we'll be doing responsive web design, and we'll be introducing JavaScript. So stay tuned. We'll be announcing when we'll be starting the next cohort. So if you find these tutorials interesting, actually they are actually interesting. So just don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like and share this video. So meet you in the next cohort. I'm Yusuf.